My name is Krista Senna, and my husband and I moved to Dumbo in 2009. We moved to this particular apartment building in 2015. So we've been in this neighborhood for a long time. It became clear a couple years ago that our management company just was not fulfilling our needs. They were either too busy or weren't as invested in our building as they used to be. And the other unit owners and the board just became really frustrated. After going through so many of the traditional management companies here in the city and having this same dynamic of, unresponsiveness, lack of ownership in the building and the community, constantly feeling like we were begging for attention, begging for answers, we wanted to try something new. We needed to try something new. A few people actually from a couple buildings in our neighborhood suggested Daisy. We had the orientation, we met with a few Daisy employees. We expressed them, this was very, very important and very impressive. We expressed them from day one that we had not had a full-time super for years. And that's part of the reason we needed to switch management companies. And that was a really big need that we had. And before we even signed the contract with Daisy, they were already looking for a new super for us. And when they started with our building, after all was said and done, a super was in place even before day one and was already working to, solve problems for us, to get to know our building, to get to know us. And the attitude was really like, okay, we're here to help. How can we help? What do you need? And that was so refreshing. And that's continued to be, I would say, Daisy's style and the way that they operate. They're always solving problems with us. We finally feel like we're part of a team. We feel supported. We feel seen in a real way. And we're not always asking and begging for attention. Daisy really helped us be preventative and proactive as opposed to reactive, which is what the building, that's how we had been operating for so many years and not by choice. Since we started working with Daisy, we've been able to see a lot of progress on some larger scale projects that were stalled when we worked with other management companies. We also had this strange imbalance with hot water and cold water for many years, and Daisy was able to fix that, which is amazing. And most recently, they have finally helped us make some progress on the local law 11 facade restoration project. That was stalled for over a year with our past management company, and we were making no progress and spending a lot of money in maintaining the scaffolding, in being fined. Thank you, Daisy, for really getting to the bottom of some larger issues that have plagued us for years so we can move on to bigger and better things as a building. As a board member and now co-board president, I really appreciate that with Daisy's support, day-to-day support, and also long-term support, that I'm no longer the one who's putting out fires, who's constantly thinking about damage control, who's always having to follow up with the management team or the unit owners to make sure they're being heard. I love that I can now focus on board responsibilities and my building's community and quality of life issues for the building, because Daisy is really doing what they were hired to do and what they're really good at. That has really been a game changer, and I'm so thankful and appreciate them for that.